Welcome to my Week 5 battle of the PPL Pokemon Draft League. My team, the LA Wakers, is taking on Gravy, coach of the Vancouver Titangs. I'll be giving you guys a quick breakdown of the team I'm bringing today, why I chose these Pokemon, and the Wi-Fi battle will follow. But first, if you're excited about this Pokemon Draft League Wi-Fi battle, make sure you let me know by leaving a like and subscribe if you're new. Gravy is the owner of this league, and his team has some insane threats. He has two insanely hard hitters in Enamorus and Hisuian Arcanine, a Mew that can do literally anything, a Tinglu that can set up hazards versus my team, alongside Iron Hands which can tank hits for most of my team, and three Terra Captains. Greedent that can terrestrialize into a normal, fairy, or steel type, a Decidueye that can terrestrialize into a grass, fire, or poison type, and a Haunter that can terrestrialize into a poison, fighting, or electric type. Because this team has very little hazard control, I want to start this team off with Hisuian Samurai. With Ceaseless Edge, I can set up spikes on Pokemon like Mew and Tinglu, trying to set up spikes versus me. Originally, I wanted a Choice Band Samurai, but I opted for Scope Lens just to give Aqua Cutter a 50% chance to crit my opponent. I have Sucker Punch's priority just in case Mew gets out of hand with Dragon Dance, and Sacred Sword gives me a nice option versus even Iron Defense Goodra. I'm also faster than both Adamant Arcanine, Jolly Decidueye, Iron Hands even if Sticky Web are up, and Timid Hisuian Goodra. Annihilate was my next pick because it really likes spikes that Hisuian Samurai gets up. With the Roselli Berry in my Eevee spread, I can easily take one Choice Specs Moonblast from Enamorus after 3 layers of Spike. With a +1 Rage Fist due to bulk up and also 100 base power after Enamorus' Moonblast, I can knock it out with Rage Fist if it runs no HP. Drain Punch gives me a recovery option and a great move to hit Pokemon like Tinglu, and I have Encore just to stop Iron Hands from setting up alongside me with Swords Dance. Defiant also works great here just in case my opponent does manage to get up Sticky Web, as I get a free +2 attack boost. The team felt a bit slow versus Hisuian Arcanine and Enamorus, so we have Choice Scarf Heatran next. With Fire Blast, Lava Plume, Flash Cannon, and Earth Power, I hit the entire team for super effective or neutral damage. With a modest special attack boosting nature and 236 speed EVs, I outspeed the fastest Pokemon on the team, Inteleon, by 1 point. The rest was put into HP and defense. Even though my opponent has plenty of Pokemon that can take hits from Heatran, like Tinglu and Iron Hands, burning them with Lava Plume can go a long way in winning the game. It also stops my opponent from spamming Flare Blitz with Hisuian Arcanine. Lycanroc looks incredible in this game because of its powerful Accelerock priority, allowing me to knock out even a Scarf Enamorus or Inteleon at 50%. Close Combat allows me to easily 2-hit KO Tinglu and knock out Hisuian Goodra, whereas Crunch is good for Mew and Decidueye prior to terrestrializing. Lastly, I have Psychic Fangs as a means of hitting Iron Hands hard, but also breaking dual screens from something like Inteleon. I have enough speed for Enamorus just in case I want to be in a position where I click Psychic Fangs instead of a Accelerock. Next, I want a Cresselia in order to tank hits from Inteleon, which can be a giant threat with a Choice Specs. I went with a Trick Sticky Barb set as a means of crippling Tinglu or even set up Mew, as Mew doesn't have very much options for recovery outside of moves like Leech Life and Drain Punch. Thunder Wave allows me to cripple Inteleon, set up Mew or even Enamorus, Moonlight keeps me healthy, and Ice Beam gives me a way of keeping Enamorus at bay. If I need a pivot, Cresselia is that Pokemon. Lastly, we went with Heavy Duty Boots Multi-Scale Dragonite. Dragon Dance plus Iron Head allows me to outspeed and knock out Enamorus, whereas Earthquake deals with Hisuian Goodra, Iron Hands, and Arcanine. And our last move is Chilling Water, which has a very specific role that allows me to set up 2 Dragon Dances in front of Terra Blast, Terra Fairy, Greedent. Basically, if Spike is up and I've set up a Dragon Dance in front of Greedent switching in, I can Chilling Water in the next turn, lower its attack stat, and guarantee be able to Dragon Dance in front of the next Terra Blast, even outside of Multiscale. My HP and defense EVs mean that I only have a 6% chance to go down to Life Orb Head Smash from Hisuian Arcanine, and the 44 special defense EVs mean that a modest Choice Specs Inteleon only has a 12.5% chance to knock me out with Ice Beam through Multiscale. So that's my team for Week 5 of the PPL Pokemon Draft League. Like I said before, if you do enjoy Pokemon Draft League content, feel free to subscribe. I'm on my way to 400k, and if everybody who watches this video today subscribe, I can hit it by the end of the day. And also, please consider checking out my opponent Gravy. He's the owner of this Draft League, so none of this would be possible without him, and he's not even at 1,000 subscribers, and I feel like we could change that. Lastly, I want to give a big shout out to Amo, Owen, Tone, Zazo, Dylan, and Olivia for all the help this week. So without further ado, let's get right into the battle. Alright, so here we are with my Week 5 battle. If you skip the team builder, well, you don't know any of my sets, but you can see some of them from right there. Check out my opponent Gravy, of course. He is the owner of this league. None of this would be possible without him. And of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. I'm on my way to 400k. If all of you subscribe today, I can hit 400k by the end of the day. Now, my opponent did not bring Enamorus or Mew, which makes it slightly easier, I would say. I don't have to deal with Enamorus. I kind of wish I was leftovers now on my carry-on, but we're gonna lead off with our Scope Lens Samurai and then kind of go from there. Just good into Tinglu, limits the hazards. He doesn't really have Aqua Cutter switch-ins. And honestly, I can get up spikes as well. So, Greedent, most likely Terra Fairy, I want to say. I think this is a really, really, really good Dragonite game. We'll see what ends up happening. Just a quick reminder that my new hydration flavor, Meteor Burst, is now out. And over 70% of the stock is already gone. You can use code AIM30 from now until Tuesday morning to save 30% off on your order. Pick it up now before it's gone. But I'm excited. I'm excited. It's a little bit earlier today. Oh, it's a little bit early. It's really early. It's in the morning. I don't like playing in the morning. Historically, I've not done well in tournament games in the morning, but that's also just because I'm perpetually tired. But should be fun either way. I love the hair. Who let him out? It's a dog. All right, so ends up leading off with the Arcanine. Now he may fear the Aqua Jet. That's definitely something that I could be. Obviously, Choice Band Head Smash will smash my Annihilate. Sometimes I'm still gonna make the Annihilate play, regardless of what he wants to do. I don't want him to be Life Orb or Choice Band. It could be Passion Berry as well. So we'll go Ape here. Ape is just a good mid-ground. Plus, Head Smash can obviously miss. He could close combat or anything like that. Ends up going for CC. So we get a good switch in here. Perfect. CC. And, I mean, I don't see a switch into Drain Punch. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm legitimately just going to go for it. I don't got to worry about this thing. My Heatran, which is Choice Scarf, is really good in this game. Just clicking Earth Power. Like, again, no Mew, no Enamorers, so no Earth... I mean, they have Pursuing and Goodra, but no real Earth Power switch-ins, I would say. Flare Blitz will deal a good chunk if they really want to go for it, though they can't be Choice Band if they switch up moves. Let me see. All right, there's a Head Smash right there. I think he expects me to be Scarf and U-turn out. I think that's it. I think he legitimately expects me to be Scarf and U-turn out. Like, it had to be. He expected me to be Scarf and U-turn out into Heatran, and he wanted to make a power play. But now I'm at 100 base power. 100 BP Rage Fist. So, I mean, that's like, I couldn't ask for a better turn right there. That Smash. Yeah, he definitely expected the Scarf. For sure expected the Scarf, but we'll just click another Drain Punch here. If he wants the Flare Blitz, a non-banded Flare Blitz only does half to me. Slightly more than half. Half would be really, half would be wrong, but let me put not Scarf, probably Boots. Not Scarf. Alright, there is the Iron Hands. But now I'm at 100 base power with Rage Fist. Oh, that is super Fizz Def. Holy. That is super Fizz Def. And Leftovers too? Okay, no big deal. I do have Encore if it wants to click Swords Dance in front of me. I'm going to click Bulk Up in front of it. Let me see, lefties. If he wants to Whirlwind me, that's fine. Again, if he attacks me with anything, if he play roughs, I can Encore him into them. He's most definitely Whirlwind. But again, at 100 base power, potentially 150 base power here if he attacks me. Like, Ape is just super freaking good into this team. It's so freaking good into this team. So he Swords Dances there, and this is exactly why I put Encore. SD. This is exactly why I put Encore, and then I can just follow it up with a Drain Punch, because my opponent has no Drain Punch switch-ins after that. I'm really glad I went with Encore Ape. Originally, it was going to be Taunt, and then we tried other things with Leftovers, ended up going with Roselli Berry. But Encore was great for this. Even if my opponent tried to Hazard Stack me, I noticed that, like, if my opponent had Spite Ops, which he does, if they had Spite Ops, I just lead off with Ape and just click Bulk Up, because Spite Ops can't stop me. It has Circle Throw, but I'm a Ghost type. So he's locked into that. I think Fizz Def, Annihilate, excuse me. Fizz Def this makes a lot of sense, and then I just go for a Drain Punch here. If he tries to switch in on Rage Fist, because it's boosted, it's better for me. This will do a good chunk to Ting Lu. Ape is just looking really... I'm just really surprised he didn't bring Enamorers. I get it because I have Heatran, which could be Scarf, which is Scarf in this case. I have my dog as well, Emvee and Puka. And, you know, they really do... they really do... I don't know why I put that in there. I have Lycanroc Dusk. I want to get a third dog, though, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Lycanroc as a pet. That mon kind of fire. I love Lycanroc Dusk. I'm very happy to finally have it in draft. It looks really good here, too. Like, very, very, very good. Anyway, we just Drain Punch, because if he tries to go Ting Lu on my attack, we're good. If he tries to go Arcanine to get off a huge hit, we're good. Ends up going out into James Pond, which is most likely dual screens. I want to see base. Oh, it is not dual screens. It is not dual screens. It's definitely a more offensive variant. I put him into Torrent, which is not what we want to do. So that is in heavy rain, which is yeah, that's not what we want. We're gonna go Samurott here. We're gonna go Samurott on Hydro Pump. It's gonna do a lot. It's gonna do a lot, but I have to switch. I'm still at full HP, which is nice as well. I'm gonna say this is an iron. This is in my dog range as well. So they go for Shadow Ball. Oh, perfect. I even get a free Ceaseless Edge here. You know what he might be? He may not be. And that's good for Crest too, so I get it. He may not be Torrent, but this is a free Ceaseless Edge. He could possibly switch up moves here. We do want spikes going up immediately to help my Dragonite beat Greedent, because Dragonite looks, again, incredible in this game. S-Ball. Should probably count the damage he did just to see. Alright, there's Iron Hands. No problem, no problem. And we ended up landing, which is so nice. We actually end up getting up hazards here. I'm very, very, very happy about that. Very, very, very happy. So we get up a spike. Iron Hands comes out. If he wants to Thunder Punch into my Annihilape, I'm good. Ape just looks really, really crazy. Oh, I should take a minute to calc the damage on this. Let's see. Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does. That is not specs to do that little. So that's not choice. It could be Scarf. Scarf is a decent Dragonite check with some HP investment. I'm going to make the Annihilate play on this. I'm going to always make the Annihilate play, I think. I don't know if Inteleon dies to hazards, but my Greedent looks crazy now. So if they go for Swords Dance again, we're good. They go right for Wild Charge, so they're going to be taking damage, which is nice. Now I'm at 150 base power Rage Fist. 150 BP. This is going to do a good chunk to Iron Hands. Again, we're going to assume max defense. Nice little calky. They did a lot, man. 150 base power. If it's max defense, I don't do that much on it. It's around the... No, this calc says max defense, max HP, max everything. Which is not... Yeah, he doesn't have attack. Alright, so we go right for Rage Resist anyway. This is something we need to weaken because, again, my Lycanroc Dust goes crazy. Oh, yeah, that's an easy 2 KO. That's an easy 2 KO. Perfect. So, we get the 200 base power. Oof. We get the KO on this, which is amazing. And Samurott looks super good, too. Samurott looks incredible right now. So, I have no reason not to click Rage Fist again. If he wants to try and go Greedent on the Rage Fist and then Terra's into a Fairy, I'm going to click Rage Fist again versus Greedent if he goes Greedent. But I would very much like to KO this Pokemon. It does die to Psychic Fangs now, so I'm not that worried about it. But I would still very much like to KO it. Basically, he has no switch into this attack. So, good job, Annihilate. Just clicking the broken move in this game and picking up KO after KO. So, perfect. Iron Hands is gone. Get that threat out of here. Something definitely in the late game that could be a threat. We're going to save Annihilate just because it's better. It's good versus Tinglu. Good versus Goodra. They probably go Arcanine here. Who let him out? That's definitely the dog. So it's not choiced, and they have to Flare Blitz to knock me out or Head Smash. I think that's okay. I could go Crest, which I don't believe is 2-shot. Or I could just sack too. I think it's okay. I guess it's okay to sack. I guess it's okay to sack. Let's go for Drain Punch. It's alright. I don't want to switch into Head Smash. Plus he can miss. Yeah, he goes for Flare Blitz, which is, you know, big deal, right? Can't really stop that from happening. At this point, I'm just going to bring out my Lycanroc and I think just start clicking buttons. Like, I don't see anything wrong with going Lycanroc right now and just clicking buttons. He did switch up moves. Should be a free attack with Lycanroc. I want to start racking up its kills. Hasn't been getting me kills yet this draft league. So I want to start racking up its kills. No point in going for a Solid We know they're not choice Scarf. I can go right for the close combat here. Probably extreme speeds just for the chip. Yep. Which is fair. CC was just my best play anyway. So we get rid of that Arcanine. Perfect. They have Greedent. They have Goodra. They have quite a few threats. They have quite a few threats still left. But Greedent most likely has to Terrasilize into a Fairy, which is going to open up my Flash Cannon versus that. I should be okay versus Tinglu as well, I believe, because I have the Chillin' Water Tech. I have the Chillin' Water Tech, and I'm assuming that Greedent comes out, but I know I can kill Inteleon with a Solid Rock. If they go Goodra, then that means that it is more than likely Chople Berry. If they go Tinglu, I'm going to switch out into, I think, Crest and actually go for the Trick. So this is definitely Greedent. Okay, so this is Greedent. Takes the spike damage. I'm going to go out into my Cresselia here, and I'm just going to trick it a Sticky Barb. I kind of wanted to save this for Tinglu to get it worn down, but I think it's better to get in this position, especially because they probably go for either Stuffed Cheeks, Swords Dance. They definitely Terra into a Fairy type here, I think. A Fairy or Ghost. I think Fairy is more likely, but that's going to open up Flash Cannon from my Scarf Heatran. So, also there's a good shot that Crest doesn't lose this 1v1 when we give it the Sticky Barb. So there's the Terra. Again, I'm assuming Fairy. I did have Iron Head initially on Lycanroc, but I changed it because I wanted Crunch for Mew, and there's a Terra Fairy. I changed it because I wanted Crunch for Mew and for the what's it called? For the Decidueye prior to Terastallizing. So they go with Swords Dance. Yep, Terra Fairy. Terra Fairy. SD. They're going to see the Sticky Barb. I'm going to immediately Trick right now. I'm going to immediately Trick. Give them that Sticky Barb. No matter what comes in, it's good, right? If Inteleon doesn't die to Spikes, it'll die to Sticky Barb. If Tinglu comes out, I weaken it, turn per turn. If Goodra comes out, I get rid of potential Chople Berry. So this is just a good position, regardless, to put Greedent in range of my attacks. Plus, Psychic Fangs is going to do a good chunk to this anyway. Like, from this position, obviously, I wish I had Annihilate, but I didn't want to switch in anything on its attacks. And this also gets rid of potentially Babiri Berry from this Pokemon if they do have it. And I still have Dragonite to click Earthquake versus the Pokemon on my opponent's team. I still have Sacred Sword, so even if it's like a Curse Goodra, I'm okay because it'll go through. Alright, they do end up switching out. Perfect. Oh, this means that I can Chilling Water set up later. Oh, and they end up bringing out Tinglu. This is amazing. This is like the best case scenario for me. This is best case scenario. I don't know if they're Assault Vest or not, but I potentially get their leftovers. And again, I'm wearing them down turn per turn. So what item do we see on them? Sticky Barb. What did I obtain? I got leftovers. Perfect. Barb. That is absolutely perfect because we're also putting them in range of my, like Heatran can clean up. Basically, Heatran can clean up the late game. I guess he also didn't want to get T-Wave there. I could see him having payback in terms of switching in. I wanna guarantee put it in range. This guy isn't that good except for Thunder Waving, so I want to guarantee put it in range of close combat. I know Ice Beam's gonna do like 10%, but this basically that does die to CC now. It dies to CC. Ends up getting up Spike, which is fine. Spike is completely fine. Also, I can knock it out with my Aqua Cutter, which is exactly what I want to go for. So I think I'm gonna make, because even if they ruin it, that's fine. I think I want to guarantee knock this thing out. Oh, Dragonite. The Dragonite endgame is looking kind of nasty, too. The Dragonite endgame is looking kind of nasty. One Spike is whatever. We'll go out to you. They shouldn't be able to KO me. Spike up at, like, less than 50%. Lycanroc is going to kill this. Greedent, I have the Chilling Water. I have the Iron Head combo as well. I should be okay. And again, my Heatran's Flash Cannon will always knock out Greedent. Unless I get that berry. But, yeah. So, they go for Ruination. Ah, an unfortunate miss, man. I'm so sorry, dude. I know how it is to miss those 90s. Ruination. It's also why I refuse to run Razor Shell most weeks as well. Like, if I'm missing Ceaseless Edge, like, I don't think I want to go for it. So, we'll go for Aqua Cutter here. Pick up the KO. I can't miss this move. So, that Mon's gone. Inteleon, if that wants to come out, I have a 50% chance to crit, by the way, with this Pokemon. Just because of the fact that I am running the Scope Lens. So, if Goodra wants to come out, I'll hit that. There goes this. Earthquake does not KO me, and I threaten them. I'm going to go hard into Heatran. If they predict me and go for an Earthquake right there, I think I'm in a good spot regardless, because I get to bring out Dragonite. So this is kind of like just positioning to get out Dragonite. That's all I want. Also, Inteleon is outsped and dies to Flash Cannon too. So again, if they go for that Earthquake, I'm good. They go for Terra Blast, which is a good play regardless. And again, if they want to go Goodra, we're getting that chip damage that we need, because the scariest Pokemon at this point is definitely Goodra. So we're going to go for Flash. If they have that Babiri Berry, which is really good tech, I can knock it out with Iron Head after from Dragonite. I also, if they somehow live this, I can Dragon Dance in front of them with Dragonite, and I think we win from there. I could be wrong. Or I can just go Lycanroc and I think win with Lycanroc. Yeah, I'll go Lycanroc if anything. I'll definitely go Lycanroc. Again, I can see them going Goodra because they don't want to lose. I don't even get to click Chilling Water, I feel like, because I don't see any positions where I get to. Maybe versus Goodra if it's like Heavy Slam puts Body Press. Maybe. Like, I'm trying to think, because it's better in all cases to click Iron and stuff. I had a really cool scenario in Mox where Chilling Water... We ended up with Chilling Water because of Mox, but yeah, I had a really good scenario with that. SD Terra Blast. I'll get home. Good nickname. Good nickname. Alright. So, we have to find out how much this does. Hopefully... I think that's Assault Vest. I want to say that's Assault Vest. And we get a Spadef drop too. I want to say that's... Because I'm modest. I lied. It's not Assault Vest. God. Dude, ate that for breakfast. I'm going to go hard into my Samurott. The reason I'm going hard Samurott is because if they go for a Body Press... then I think I just click CC with Lycanroc after. If they go for Iron Defense and try and do anything with that, or Curse because they want to try and beat my Dragonite and stuff like that, I'm in just a good spot regardless. Plus, I want to save this because, again, it just clicks Flash Cannon at the end game. It always keeps Greedent at bay. And this is expendable because, again, if this dies this turn, I can go Lycanroc. Let's see if they go for Curse. They do end up going for Curse, exactly. This is why we have Sacred Sword. We ignore that. Again, I was originally banned on this Pokemon. I think I talked about that in the team preview. But I ended up being non-banned because of the fact that just being able to click Aqua Cutter was really nice. Like, I love the banded damage from Aqua Cutter when I was using it. And I was like, okay, Scope Lens gives you 50% of the time. This is actually Zazo. Big shout out to him. So Sacred Sword ignores the Curse damage, and we can go right for that. We can, or excuse me, the Curse defense boost. I can see them going Greedent again. We just got to be aware about this. They do go for Curse Protect. Okay, so Curse, Protect. We're going to assume Dragon Tail and then, like, probably Body Press, I would say. I don't mind Greedent coming in either if they want to make that play. Because then I believe we're in a position to win the game with Dragonite. Yeah, we just Sacred Sword here. We always have Sacred Sword. We always have Close Combat. If he switches, it's fine. Again, Greedent can come out. I think Greedent will get its berry and its stuffed cheeks and all that stuff. Oh, no, they stay in. Does it live? Nah, dude. Sacred Sword ignores that. Oh, I crit with the Scope Lens. No, I'm so sorry. I mean, that could also have been a regular crit, but obviously it was boosted by that. I don't know. I need to know how much that does. This Mon is going. I mean, I put the I only want to crit Aqua Cutter because it's 50%, but obviously I don't want to crit everything. So Sacred Sword does 74 to 87 if they were, excuse me, if they were max HP. It didn't die. Lycanroc killed them after, but we'll go for Aqua Cutter here and see what happens. At this point, I don't have a reason to switch. If they set up in front of me, I have a 50% chance to crit them like I did every other turn so far this game. Again, and versus that, I don't want to crit that. I want Dragonite to come out and kill that because I want more. I want more kills for Dragonite in this game. I definitely want more kills for Dragonite. But yeah, Ape going crazy. The CZ turn one was really like, had he head smash, it could have been really bad. And there is the Aqua Cutter crit. We're gonna get the berry activate stuffed cheek, so it's gonna go all the way back up. It's gonna go all the way back up. However, it is in range of Flash Cannon no matter what. He does go right for Terra Blast, which is fine. He does go right for that Terra Blast. And I get to use Choice Scarf Heatran to pick up a nice little KO right here. And that's the Aqua Cutter. Alright. The return of Choice Scarf Heatran. At least I get to use you in the thumbnail. I don't want to use Samurott again. Even though Samurott definitely making up this week for like everything in the past, right? Literally making up for everything in the past. AKA the first week. And Delphox had its redemption arc last time too. So Heatran knocks out Greedent. And if Inteleon does not die, I think if he was Torrent, he should have just clicked Surf turn one. But he might not have been Torrent. He might not have been Torrent. He could have been Sniper. Because I definitely get like the sniper as a shot. This might just die to spike. Oh, cool. So short Scarf Heatran does outspeed this and lets it Scarf and knocks it out. This could be Scarf too. Do you need Scarf on this team? No, you have defensive Iron Hands. Maybe it is Scarf. I don't know. I know it wasn't Specs, that's for sure. It definitely wasn't Specs. It is Scarf. He's going for the Ice Beam Freeze. But, does he get it? No. This isn't Samurott. Alright, so Choice Scarf Heatran picking up another KO here. So, very good game. My bad, Gravy, for the crit on Sacred Sword. I didn't want that. Aqua Cutter, I mean, I'm going, it's a 50-50. But obviously on Sacred Sword, I didn't want that. I wanted Dragonite to be able to come out. Him having Scarf and Teleon means he always had to lock himself into Ice Beam to revenge kill Dragonite, and it died to Spike after. So more than likely after Sacred Sword damage, and then I go out to Dragonite and I click Earthquake. If he goes Greedent, I can get my little Chilling Water activated and my little Iron Heads, and then enforce out Inteleon, and then win the game with Heatran's Earth Power. Just because he would have let Goodra take the Sacred Sword, which would have done 71 to 84 if he's max HP. Severely less if he's not, but then Tough Claw's boosted. Lycanroc would have done a lot anyway. But I mean, it just matters because he doesn't get a chance to pick up that KO there, and then I get a lot out of it versus Greedent. But yeah, check out my opponent. Obviously, we are now 3-2. I think we need 1 or 2 more wins to guarantee playoffs. I think 1 more win makes us semi-safe depending on differential. My differential isn't the greatest, and then 2 makes it guaranteed to playoffs. But please check out my opponent, Gravy. I'm going to hit him up so we can do an interview. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. All right, guys, we're here with the post-game interview with Jack, a.k.a. Gravy, a.k.a. the owner of the league. Again, I think we can get him to 1,000 subscribers today. He is about halfway there, and he's on one of the 2 people that are not at 1,000 subs yet, and we really want to grow the draft community, and he's the reason we're doing this. He's literally the reason that Emvee and I and Mephisto, obviously Kelly as well, are in this league. So you want to say hi to the people, bro?
Hi. I'd say it's definitely more Kelly. Kelly was like, because Kelly and Emvee are friends, he was just like, as soon as Emvee said you didn't have a league, he was like, I'm on it. I'm getting him in. So
we did think that Kelly's league was different from the PPL. I'll be honest about that, because we got invited to a league from Kelly, and then Shuckle King hit me up as well. And he was talking about the PPL. I didn't realize Kelly's was, because it was kind of talking like it was different. But obviously, we're happy to be here. We're really enjoying the atmosphere. I like the people a lot, and the battles are really good as well, which is nice. I like continue that trend of really good stuff, like being able to watch that. So let's talk a little bit about your team. So when I first saw your team, bro, I was like, oh my god, no Mew and no Enamorus. What? Yeah. Why? Talk to me.
Why? Literally, as soon as the game ended, I was like, I should have brought Mew. So, perhaps the Mew was a mistake. I didn't bring Enamorus because I felt like I wanted a bulkier fairy, and so Greedent had a better matchup, which,
Greedent was for sure better.
It's certainly the only time that you will see Enamorus be compared to Greedent in any way. But it's, I felt like it was really good here. But at the same time, my faster mons would have been a bit more helpful in this game. Yeah. In the end, the game plan I think was pretty solid. It just didn't come to fruition. I didn't bring Enamorus because I had a feeling there was going to be plenty on your team to deal with Enamorus. I expected Air Balloon actually on Heatran, but I just either Scarfed. So I thought if I bring Enamorus, it's probably just going to take rocks and then get checked by Heatran unless I break an Air Balloon. In which case, I then have to switch into Heatran, which I don't do amazingly well.
Yeah.
So
that's especially because I have the crest to like Sticky Barb. So initially when building the team and with Zazo, the idea was lead crest into Ting Lu and immediately trick away the Sticky Barb. But I found that Sticky Barb was so helpful in the late game for Mew, which has no recovery. Because I thought sets like DD Leech Life and Iron Defense. Body press sets, basically sets with no recovery. So like even though Crest can't do damage to it, the Sticky Web damage return and the Thunder Wave allowed Crest to beat it 1v1, which is Ice Beam spam. So I ended up not leading with that. In this one, I like Samurai a lot just because the team you obviously brought a slower team. And I figured if you went like Iron Hands, I just go hard into Ape. So did you click Head Smash turn 2 because you expected me to U-turn out into Heatran? Or like pivot into Heatran on like...
I thought you maybe would scout to see if I was choiced or not. So I thought it's kind of not necessarily the best mid ground, but something of a mid ground to because I was focus Ash.
Yeah.
I was like, it's kind of risk free to an extent to just go for head smash in case you go out into your Heatran either on like a Psychic Fangs or a Flare Blitz.
Yeah.
Because that was the most obvious plays that I could make. So I was like, if I just get a head smash out on that Heatran, if it is Air Balloon, then I can EQ it with like everything on my team later. If it's not Air Balloon, then I'll find out there and I can play around it in any other way. But yeah,
I stayed in because I ran the calc. Like, as long as you're not choice banned, you don't even 2 KO my thing, right? Like with Flare Blitz, so I would be able to, especially after Drain Punch recovery. Like in this game when I saw, I was like, damn, I wish I was leftovers on Ape, because the Ape would have been insane. I made it Encore over Taunt like semi last minute, but it was just my way of combating also Sticky Web, because that's an option. But Sticky Web's very, like, Sticky Web's good into my team because I don't have hazard control, but it's also bad because Defiant Ape is faster than everything, even with webs up, and the mons that are faster than it are still faster than it anyway, and you just give it a free boost no matter what, right? So I ended up going Encore, which obviously when I saw leftovers on Iron Hands, I knew that no like Mirror Herb or anything, so bulk up felt kind of free there. And if you whirlwind me, you whirlwind me, right? If you attack me there with anything, you give me the boost, and obviously we ended up seeing SD.
Yeah, I would say Encore was just a fantastic bring. Like when you bulked up, I was like, this is fine because +1 Swords Dance.
Yeah, you outdamage me.
Technical +1. I will be able to 2 KO you quite easily. I took like no damage from Rage Fist, which was, this mon is dumb.
Yeah,
how
dude,
fat it is.
This mon is so annoying. It's so bulky, bro. It's like, it's like Landorus with an Intimidate perpetually, like always activated, like legitimately, and it's so strong. Too. I hit myself in the one sec. But yeah, obviously Iron Hands is really, really nasty. You brought Scarf and Teleon as a means of knocking out Dragonite, right? With Ice Beam just in case it's boosted, which is fair. Because even though Iron Hands will live +1, you will probably take damage from the rest of my team. And like, yeah, Tinglu, this set makes sense. As you can see, I went the Scope Lens because originally I was choice banned, but I liked being able to switch up moves. I really liked it, and like, the main move I was clicking to do damage versus your team, like as a neutral, would always be Aqua Cutter. So having the 50% chance to crit with Scope Lens, basically choice ban. But it wasn't supposed to crit Kudra.
It happens. It's mons. Like at the end of the day, like that sort of thing happens every week. So it's just unfortunate. It would have picked up a KO. But
it would have been a nice KO. Yeah, it still would have picked up a KO, which would have been cool. And then obviously I really, really, really wanted to show you the Chilling Water Dragonite tech in front of the Greedent. So the idea is, if one spike is up, right, and I Dragon Dance as Greedent comes in, I go for Chilling Water in the next turn, because you can never 2-hit KO me with a Terra Blast ever, and with Chilling Water. And without Chilling Water, it's a roll with a multiscale into non-multiscale. And then I can Dragon Dance a second time, which will knock out even a defensive Greedent at +2. That's the whole thing, right? I don't want to activate your berries and you get your super full restore going on with that mon because of Cheek Pouch, and then I don't want that to happen. So that's why Chilling Water is like a last ditch effort. Originally I had Dragon Claw, but I never clicked Dragon Claw out once in mocks. So the other options were like Low Kick, Extreme Speed, and stuff like that going on. And I had Iron Head initially on Lycanroc, but I changed it to Crunch because Mew could be annoying.
Yeah.
And also, like, as a neutral hit, I'd rather click Crunch than Iron Head, even on resisted hits because of the defense drop, like which helps out a lot.
Like outside of Terra Fairy Greedent, Iron Head really didn't hit a lot. The Stone Edge Close Combat Crunch didn't.
Exactly.
So, like Enamorus would fall over to a Light Breeze, so you really didn't need it for that. So yeah, I mean that's another reason why I didn't bring Enamorus. Like your priority options kind of just one-shot it.
Yeah. I mean that literally makes that makes sense. And I had Brazil, so like I'm assuming if I bulked, I have enough attack investment. Like if you went Enamorus and I bulked up and you hit me with Moonblast, you just died to Moonblast. Like most of my mocks, Enamorus died very early because it couldn't do much.
Another thing is that like both of my fairy moves to hit Annihilate, if you were like bulkier variant, wouldn't OHKO it, And if I just happen to get like a special attack drop or an attack drop with either of the stab moves, then you get a Defiant boost. And that would be a bad time.
No, I agree. So, I agree completely.
But, I definitely think Mew was a bring here, but I don't even know what I would necessarily swap out for Mew. Because I think everything had a place on this team, and I think maybe Arcanine.
Yeah.
Arcanine, the entire plan of Arcanine was just to lead off of it and try and get a kill. Because there was a strong chance you were going to lead off with either Samurott or Lycanroc. They were the most likely leads, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And being able to just click any move into those and kind of just bait them, because both of them can one-shot me. That was just the entire plan there, but obviously you're a lot smarter than
don't give me too much credit. Don't give me too much credit for that at all. I just it was mainly that's a giant threat. I do think because you were Focus Sash, Flare Blitz would have just been better all around because I couldn't kill you regardless. But I understand, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, if I Scarf you, turn out to another Scarf Heatran, because I think I do think Scarf Annihilate is not a bad bring into you. Just because I have Gunshot, Stone Edge as an option, CC's very strong versus your team, U-turn's pretty good. So I actually think Scarf Annihilate is a legitimate. So I was like, okay, he thought I was Scarf, I'd U-turn out to Heatran and potentially be like Air Balloon or Choice Scarf itself, and you want to try and catch it. But obviously, Flare Blitz would have been a little better in that scenario because I would have recovered most of it. I would have recovered most of it. But I still would have been lower. But if you ended up going out to Iron Hands after, then it could have been, if you still SD'd, I still got a good position there. So it was, I don't know, it obviously worked out for me more. If you had to bring a Mew right now, like off the top of your head, or do you know like what, I guess, you know, if we fight again in playoffs, we shouldn't talk about it, but I fought the craziest Mews, man. So I really need to know what you were thinking when it comes to Mew if you brought it. Because I feel like that Mon can do everything besides recover. That Mon can do everything besides recover. But it's like one of the Mons where like I really love that Leaf Storm that you had versus Ellie. Like when you brought Life Orb Leaf Storm, I love the set you brought there. I also love that she scouted for it. I thought that was really cool too. But I love that you had like Life Orb Leaf Storm and things like that. Like, how does it feel having a Mew in draft? Because I feel like the possibilities are endless, but that also makes it very limiting in a sense.
Yeah. So I will say last generation I drafted Mew a couple of times and I was genuinely awful with it. Like, because it was my top tier, I felt like I had to get the most value out of it. So with it being not as good this gen, supposedly, or at least like less points, it doesn't feel like it's the central piece and that I have to try and like win with that Mon or try and get every bit of value out of it. So it's actually a really fun Mon to use. I'm currently using it here and in another league. In the other league, it's like 0-4, but at the same time, it's like worn things away with hazards, with like just attacks and stuff like that. Sadly, Ellie knows me too well, and she knows that I'll be randomly packing the Leaf Storm or the grass coverage. I think that's the
way to use it, though. I think that's the proper way to use it. Like, just use it as a surprise and try and pick up some KOs. Like, you say it's 0-4, but like you said, it gets some spikes. Like, I'm sure it's like an incredible... If there were assists in Draft League, I'm sure it would get a bunch of them, right?
It would probably have about a dozen of them.
Yeah, that's insane. So, that's insane. I'm on his...
But in this game, I went back and forth. So I only actually prepped this morning because my week has just been crazy and I've not had much time at all to prep. So I was like, I'll get up early and just prep before the game. Mew went on and off the team about 6 times. Literally, I couldn't decide what Mons I wanted in like the last couple of spots. So Ting-Lu wasn't on the team. At one point, there was no Iron Hands at one point. There was no Inteleon at one point.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like a rotation of
it was a brand new team, yeah. Dude, I would have loved to see no Ting-Lu or Iron Hands too. That'd been I wish you brought that team. Just set up with Annihilate versus that. That was smart.
With Dragon Dance. I was gonna say Dragon Dance with Play Rough Earthquake because that coverage
everything
nukes your team.
Yeah.
And then Encore was the last move in case you went for like Sucker Punch with either Lycanroc
or Samurott, and you get +6. That's so sick. That is so sick.
So that was my thought, but then I was like, nah, I kind of need something else instead, and in the end, it would have been better. I did have a special one at one point as well, but
did you have Bug Buzz? Did you have Bug Buzz on the special one for Samurott and Cresselia?
So I had Nasty Plot with Bug Buzz. Dazzling Gleam, and Earth Power.
He did have Bug Buzz. Yo, this is me, by
Yeah.
the way, strategically scouting your playoff sets. So get baited.
Of course. I've
No.
been absolutely outplayed.
But
Not just in the game, in the post-game interview, you're outplaying me as well. What is this shit?
No, Bug Buzz is really, really good versus me. I agree.
Yeah, it is.
I guess it's a def drop as well. Hitting Samurott plus like Crest, especially because those are my two initial switch-ins. So I like that Earth Power for Heatran makes sense. Lycanroc as well. Dazzling Gleam hits Dragonite. That's the one thing that was weird about me, right? Because like if you were taunt 3 attacks, I think you needed Bug Buzz.
Yep.
I think you needed Earth Power. And then what do you give up? Do you give up Psychic? Do you give up Ice Beam? And in your case, you went with the mid-ground Dazzling Gleam, but obviously that's weaker versus both Dragonite and Annihilate than the 4-times effective move and the stab move. That's why I was like always like I was curious about Mew because like every single time I fight, I just feel like you have to do so much with them, or your pressure, like you said in the previous generations. Now maybe not as much. So that opened my maybe I draft Mew as well because it's not a top tier mon just because it loses recovery. So that actually opens up my mind a lot. Like there's no pressure to do insane work with the mon. So I like that perspective, but.
It's something you can just get so creative with. Like there is no kind of limit outside of recovery, but you can even click rest if you want to be that guy. You can click rest and be either like a rest talk or resto chesto, and you do have some form of recovery that way.
Yeah. It gets life do, I guess, but life do sucks.
It literally just gives you everything.
Yeah.
Like you can just tailor it to every matchup, and I feel like mons like that will always be good. Even if you take away their recovery.
Yeah, as long as they do like 1 or 2 things, they're still offensively they're great. It could still, I mean, you still even if you were max defense, max HP, like you still check things like Lycanroc, and even without recovery, as long as you get a hit, you can knock me out with like Earth Power or Body Press, depending on the EV spread and things like that. So I agree with that completely.
See, I was shocked that there was no Delphox, because like outside of maybe like AV Goodra. And I guess Tinglu to an extent as well, because that mon is ridiculous.
But I could Terra Grass, Grass Knot. Like,
yeah, I was kind of expecting like Specs Terra Grass, or maybe Life Orb Terra Grass, or even like Terra Fire, and just click Specs Fire Blast, because my team does not appreciate that. My water type is an Inteleon.
Yeah.
So it's not really a switch-in. I did think about Terra Fire Assault Vest Decidueye to deal with that, but...
That was something I fought too in Mox. Legitimately something I fought in Mox.
Actually.
Yeah, I fought that in Mox, and it was scary because my initial switch into that mon is, believe it or not, Cresselia. Like I can't really go out to any other mon in that thing because I have to force the Terra. If I go Heatran and I Earth Power like a fool, as you stay regular type, like predicting me or something. Like it's really difficult.
I was gonna say it would.
Oh, go ahead.
It would have led to mind games, like, and I could also just click. I had low kick on that set as well, so like it had coverage for almost everything. It just kind of let Dragonite get in and do whatever it wanted. So that's why I didn't bring it in the end.
Fair. Yeah, I feel like Greedent's the type of mon you want to Terra immediately in this game because you want your Fairy.
Yeah.
Whereas
Absolutely.
Whereas the Decidueye, it's like you're staring in front of my Samrock going for Cecil's Edge, so that's when you Terra, but you're still not sure when. So I agree with that. That definitely would have led to some mind games. Delphox was something that was originally thought about, but like I think Specs as well, and Nazi Plot with boots and things like that. But with Terra Grass, but we ended up using Choice Scarf Heatran just because we wanted something that resists E-Speed, something that resists Moonblast, and can both KO both of the Pokemon. Basically, because I wasn't sure what an Amorous set you'd run. I ran into Specs, Scarf, Life Orb as well with like Tailwind. But Heatran in general was just good because if you're staring down Annihilate, for instance, like you cannot Earth Power Annihilate. You have to hit it with Moonblast.
No. Yeah.
And
see, the set I had, because it was on my first draft of the team, because I was like, yeah, Fairy types just kind of rail you. So
yeah, you're right.
I'll bring it. But then as I kind of looked at it a bit more, I was like, maybe using it as momentum would be better. So I had Q-Charm and a Jetpack Superpower.
Oh, you didn't see my team. They're all female. Every single one of my teammates is female.
Yeah.
Because
I did notice that on Team Preview, because Q-Charm, you don't want them to be...
Oh, I forgot to mention that in my team builder.
Ah, no. Well, you mentioned it now, so
so guys, as long as you made it to like 40 minutes into the video, you'll know that they were all female on purpose.
Yeah. But literally a team preview, I was like, yep, they're all female. That's to be expected. So, but yeah, it was literally just, I was going to click superpower on whatever came in, because I didn't expect you to go hard Annihilate.
Oh, never. You're 100% correct,
like,
yeah.
And then I got something in for free.
Yeah.
And I also had Healing Wish as the last move, because my team was so bulky that it would be able to hopefully bring something back from basically being dead.
That's a fire tech. I really like that with a jetpack. That's really sick. Also, you're 100% right. I never go hard Annihilate on that mon ever. Crest is my pivot, which like became sometimes sticky, no pun intended, because of the barb. Because like it can take 2 head smashes from non-choice ban Arcanine, but obviously I'm cutting it close with rocks and sticky barb. And then it was sick design to take on like Inteleon and things like that too. I also feel like if you had Surf over Hydro Pump on Inteleon, you would have clicked that instead of the Shadow Ball, like initially. But I understand like you're already in the back, and if you miss this move, like it could be GG, like in a sense. Yeah. So
that Annihilate could have just won right there. Yeah, like especially because of Roselli, because Terra Blast was doing
nothing,
0.
Yeah, and I can bulk up in front of Greedent for free because I can encore it. So like it's because I know you're gonna Terra Fairy, but bulk up is just the best play because it's the exact same thing. Like. I was grateful that Hands was sacrificed to beat it. It did so much damage, dude. Without like only 128 attack EVs, but damn, Hands does so much. Threw a bulk up, dude. Freaking crazy mon.
If it got bulk up, it would just go ridiculous. Like it genuinely would have outside of Encore, of course.
No, it would definitely won, dude. I think with bulk up, you actually stall me out of Encores. Like real talk, because you're just so bulky. Yeah, you definitely stall me out of Encores. And my means of dealing with that would be I would literally need to trick it a sticky barb, and then encore it whenever it went for Drain Punch versus something. But yeah, that mon, I think that mon would be super high tier in draft if it had bulk up too. Thank God it doesn't. Holy crap!
It's still a great mon. Like you can just slap it on any team, it'll work.
It's your wall. It's your Hippowdon plus your Dragonite. Like it's everything. It's literally just it's a demon. I think it's also underrated in the OU tier. Is there anything you want to say to the people? Talk about what you're uploading because you're in multiple draft leagues right now. Anything you want to tell them? Just like go subscribe to them, guys. Go ahead and talk to them, bro.
So I'm in. Well, I currently run PPL, obviously, as Joey said. I'm also running the PBA, which is a 48 coach Wi-Fi league.
Jeez.
Which, we don't hold back when we're running leagues. But we got that league going on. Granted, I'm kind of uploading that in stages instead of weekly. We're playing an ICP, which will be all done in one video at the end of the season. And also we got BBR, which is of course weekly. If you watch Joey and BBR, you'll be familiar with them. We are currently, as to win this going up, 4-0, I think, in BBR. Roaring Moon is Roaring Moon is absurd.
You have it with Terra. You have it with Terra.
Yes. Yeah, it's Terra and it's 15-0 in 4 games. So yeah, that it's going pretty well. Outside of that, I do plan to get back on doing regular content, just because of everything in life. At some point, yes, a little bit too hectic, especially when you're running 2 leagues. Yep. It like content dried up for a little bit, but it will come back. I do 3v3s and 6v6s, and I'll be doing like tier list videos, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, go subscribe to him, guys. Like legitimately, it's no joke to be doing all of that too. I've actually debated joining 2 leagues at once before I was doing like the edited stuff. Owen was also telling me, Ojo Albina was also telling me like it's good because if I lose 1 week to hacks, I still have the other game of the week to make me feel better for the rest of the week till my next match. But again, with like edit, it's kind of hard. And I mean, you work 40 hours a day, so I understand it being.
I was gonna say I did something like 60 hours last week, and also drove to go and see Addison and Dr. Slacking, which is like halfway across the country, so it's an hour and a half drive, which is obviously nothing to Americans, but to us, that's a long
you said
way.
Halfway across the country, hour and a half drive. Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's just going like 10 blocks in like traffic of Connecticut, or even going back and forth to New York. I thought he was saying halfway across the country. Yeah, like what, 25-hour drive? Jeez.
I mean, depends on which halfway. If you're going up north, because I live like right at the south of the country. Going up north, like halfway up, is about 4 hours. But yeah, if we go the other side the other way, it's like 2 hours to the other side of the country. So, but yeah, like, this week has been it's been busy, and yeah, I've got another Draft League game, in fact, in 2 hours.
Oh man!
So I can go and try and win that one, and immediately everything's right with the world again. But regardless, like, this game, barring that one crit on Gudra, there was not really any hacks that I can remember. So
I did crit Greedent, but I think it was still in range of flash after. But I mean, if I didn't crit it, I would have got to show my cool Dragonite. So I was really sad about that because I wanted to show you cool Dragonite.
The crit didn't help anyone. Like, we all wanted Greedent to put in work.
Yeah.
Greedent gets a kill though. Is it just one, I think, in this game? But it still got a kill.
It got Samurott. It was still a kill. It was definitely still a kill. So it got it. But yeah, guys, please check out Jack. Obviously, I would love to get into 1,000 subs. You know, the whole point of why I'm joining Draft League again, besides the Wi-Fi timer being back, I love Draft. I clearly love uploading Draft. We're doing 2 back-to-back. Usually there'd be a lot more time in between them too. Is we want to grow the Draft League community, and the best way to do that is, you know, you guys showing support to other people, not just me. So I would love you guys sub to Gravy, and yeah, thank you so much for being on the channel. Thank you for the game. Good luck in your other game, and we'll see you guys in the next game. Peace.